Okay, let's get the rules straight right out of the box, all right? This is not a political commentary. We are talking marketing and branding only, okay? Why am I putting this disclaimer up? Okay, because we are going to be watching, we're going to watch and analyze a political ad by a woman in Baltimore named Kimberly Klacik. Now, you might already have seen this ad, and it doesn't matter to me whether you support her or whether you're Democrat or Republican or anything. We are not talking about that, okay? We are simply analyzing this ad, which happens to be an extremely powerful marketing and branding example for all of us can study and learn from. So here's the deal. I'm going to show you the video of her. I'm going to show the ad. All right. It's not quite, I think it's like 2 minutes and 50 some seconds long. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to break it down and analyze it and point out some of the things about it that would be lessons that we can all learn for our own marketing and branding, messaging, creating ads, or any type of promotion and communication with our marketplace. All right? So let's watch it. I'll be right back.
Do you care about Black lives? The people that run Baltimore don't. I can prove it. Walk with me. They don't want you to see this. I'm Kim Klacik. This is Baltimore, the real Baltimore. This is the reality for Black people every single day. Crumbling infrastructure, abandoned homes, poverty, and crime. Baltimore has been run by the Democrat Party for 53 years. What is the result of their decades of leadership? Baltimore is one of the top 5 most dangerous cities in America. The murder rate in Baltimore is 10 times the U.S. average. The Baltimore poverty rate is over 20%. Homicide, drug, and alcohol deaths are skyrocketing in our city. Do you believe Black Lives Matter? I do. The vast majority of crime in Baltimore is perpetrated against Black people, who make up 60% of the population. So why don't we care about our communities? The Democrat Party have betrayed the Black people of Baltimore. If the politicians walked the streets like I do, they would see exactly how their policies and corruption affects us. If they don't want to see it, they don't want you to see this. Go to any Baltimore neighborhood and ask this question. Do you want to defund the police?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
I had 3 sons killed in Baltimore City. And I think if we defund the police office, it's going to be worse than that. So no, I'm opposed to that.
What are you going to defund the police for? Why? How do you defend your city, your community? Families are losing people.
It's not just Baltimore. The worst place for a Black person to live in America is a Democrat-controlled city. It's 2020. Name a blue city where Black people's lives have gotten better. Try. I'll wait. Look at this. How are children supposed to live here and play here? Democrats think Black people are stupid. They think they can control us forever, that we won't demand better, and that we'll keep voting for them forever, despite what they've done to our families and our communities. Are they right? I'm Kim Klacik, and I'm running for Congress because I actually care about Black lives. All Black lives matter. Our communities matter. Baltimore matters. And Black people don't have to vote Democrat.
Okay, so now, whether you're Democrat or Republican, it doesn't matter here. All right. Remember, this is not about politics. This is about marketing and branding. What can we learn from this? All right. So let's start right out with this. All right. We talk about the marketing diamond. Number 1, who's your market? Who is the moose that you're going after? All right. She is obviously going after Black people. All right. And she's really focused in on that message. Now, you could say that on the periphery of that would be people who support the Black Lives Matter movement, and also people might be who are disenfranchised in Baltimore, that type of thing. But she is essentially talking to Black people who live in Baltimore, and so she's really honed in on who her moose is. Number 2 of the marketing diamond is the message. And the message does 2 things. One is it gets the attention of the moose for you, so you can then share the rest of your message with them. So the headline that she has stays stays on the screen for the entire ad, right? For the whole ad, the headline is right there. And at the very beginning, which is where we have to get somebody's attention, because most people are thinking of something else and they're doing something else. And so at the very beginning of any type of promotion or advertising or marketing or communication or anything like that, we got to get them to pay attention to us, right? And one of the best ways to do that is through what is known as a pattern interrupt. It's something that kind of jolts the senses to where they kind of go, oh, okay, I'm looking at you, right? And so what does she do? She's got the giant headline. You know, if somebody reads that, that's going to grab their attention. But visually, what are we seeing? We're seeing the lower part of her body where she's wearing a red dress, a very bright red dress, bright red shoes, high-heeled shoes, right? The music kind of comes on, and she's walking with the music. And so all you see is her legs and her shoes. And so that visually grabs attention because of this red against this very dreary background, all right? So that grabs your attention. She now it now lifts to where you can see her completely, and she's saying, hey, we've got something to talk about, right? And she's talking directly to her moose right now. And she starts talking about the problems that they've got, the pain that they feel, that this has been going on for a very long time. She uses statistics to support her argument that the opposition that the opponents have been ruling the city for 50 some years, and look, here's where we are. We've got, the only way that things can change is if we get rid of the opponents. Now you also notice that she does not name her opponent. She simply refers to the opponent as Democrats. The Democratic Party has been in power, and the the Democrats do this. Now, this is also something that is kind of breaking the rules of traditional advertising and marketing, because for the most part, when you see political commercials, right, political ads, they are right nowadays. They are personal attacks on the opponent. They name the opponent. They talk about how terrible and awful, and evil the opponent is, because the opponent believes this, and that that opponent has voted for this or not voted for that, or supported this or not supported that, and really goes after the opponent personally. She does not do that. So that's an example of when I teach, look at what everybody else is doing and then don't do that. But she very successfully paints this picture of the opposition party as being responsible for all this terrible blight in Baltimore. But she doesn't just say in Baltimore. She then expands it and starts to talk about other cities across the United States, using statistics again that help support her argument. That's the beautiful thing about statistics, is that we can always find statistics that will support our argument, right? And she does that, and she expands it to make it look like, oh yeah, it's not just Baltimore that the Democrats have destroyed, but look what they're doing to America. And so she's really ramping up the emotion. She's really going after the emotional capture in there, right, of her moose. And she has testimonials from black people about something that, right now, defunding police is a very hot topic. And many cities are really looking at this. I'm in Seattle, and they're working on defunding the police. But you see, what we think here, and I think what she was trying to do here is what she was saying. She's interviewing people, black people, her moose, and she's asking them, do you want to defund the police? And all of them are saying no. And so what is the message she's sending there? She's saying, look, it's not black people who are saying we want to defund the police. It's somebody else who must be saying that, because we black people, we support the police. We want the police to be here with us. So that's a very powerful message being sent out, saying law and order is important to us. So we want to make sure that we've got that going for us. Those other guys, they don't want that, apparently, right? She talks about children. Let's go for more of the heartstrings, right? Children shouldn't have to live in this. How are they supposed to grow up, healthy and happy in this type of an environment? And during all of this, she continues to walk through Baltimore, they've picked, bad parts of Baltimore, so it's very dreary. The color is very drab and stuff like that. And she's in that very striking, she's a very striking looking woman, and she's got a very striking red dress and those red high heeled shoes, that are so, they're so different from the color of the background, that you are, she's really got your attention with that. So she's keeping your attention through this, talking about the children. She's interviewing people. And then she also, she's also, let me make sure I got my notes here so I can say it. She, again, reinforced that she does not name her opponent, so she's not doing any personal attacks on her opponent. And then she's, again, stressing to black people, just because you voted for Democrat before, it doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat now. So again, a very powerful message from her, and really going after the emotional attachment with her moose. And then ultimately at the very end, the call to action of, please, click on this button and go to this link, and donate to help support me in my campaign. So this is a really great message for all of us to learn from a marketing and branding type of campaign. All right, she's setting herself up as being, I am standing apart from everybody else, out there. And so again, you want to talk about the marketing and branding part? Feel free, join in the conversation here. If you start jumping on this from a political perspective, you're gone. You're deleted.
You are banished!
Immediately. All right? No questions asked. There's no discussion. All right? This is just about marketing and branding. I am not going to get into a political conversation with anybody. All right? So, it was a good lesson this week, that's for sure. Very powerful. Steve Miller, better known as Kelly's dad and marketing gunslinger. Thanks again for watching this week. I'll be back again next time with another Uncopyable business video. And until then, always remember, be uncopyable. I'll see you.